This is Two Teachers Chat with your hosts, Brenda McCrate and Peggy Wilbur.
Morning, Peg.
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm good.
We are Two Teachers Chat.
Yes, we are.
Brenda, I was thinking about when teachers do read alouds.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I've seen a lot is teachers, the teacher sits in her favorite comfy chair.
Yep.
The children sit around and they might spend 8 minutes, 10 minutes doing read alouds. But some of the students are facing the other way. Do you know what I mean? It seems to me that reading out loud is great. But the question is, how can we make it even more effective, more powerful as a teaching strategy?
Well, and it absolutely can be the most amazing teaching strategy. Mm-hmm. First of all, though, if you are a teacher and you are reading aloud to your children at all during the day from one of your favorite books or a book that you found that just is amazing, then I congratulate you.
Yes,
Keep it up.
Yes.
Because there are people who have been told there's no time to read aloud and it's not useful. Now,
let's talk about why just the read aloud,
right.
A vocabulary enhancement,
modeling of fluency, because you're the most fluent reader in your class, I hope.
Right. Concepts, they get exposed to different cultures, different concepts. And in fact, any picture book has a higher vocabulary than any primetime television show. So you know that you're building that. So
just reading aloud is so important. And most important of all, it may catch that kid who doesn't enjoy reading, but they hear you read the first book in the series of unfortunate events or whatever, Harry Potter or whatever, and they have to read the rest. And by the time they're through, they love reading and they're a fluent reader. I mean, a lot of us teachers, that's how, if we weren't great readers in school, that's what turned us on. So, what do you want to do during a read aloud? You want to model, which means, ladies and gentlemen, you can't pick the book up off the shelf that morning and use it after lunch. You don't let your children draw pictures while you're reading out loud. You can let them lie on the floor as long as their head is propped up and they're actually trying to make pictures of what you're reading and they're trying to stay engaged. You need to use all your engagement tools, including having them talk to partners about things, having them come up with questions, having them find the answers after you've modeled it in your read aloud.
What I've noticed in our other videos where you actually model the read aloud as if you are working with the children, your invisible children in your class, that you had a purpose in your read aloud.
Yes.
So you had, before you even picked up that book, you had decided what it was, what strategy that you wanted to use the read aloud in order to model something. Okay.
And I will be honest with you, sometimes I plan it way out, and other times it truly, because I've done this a lot, it's kind of off the cuff. But sticky notes are your friend for read alouds, all right? Because what you want to do, whether it's a picture book or a chapter book or a big thick book because you're reading The Indian Captive Child, which is wonderful for Native American history and just amazing book, you're going to take your little sticky notes and you're going to read your book. So, your summertime reading may become children's literature. It is not a bad thing. So you're sitting on your couch during the summer in June before the back to school sales have hit us, and you're enjoying your read aloud because it also could teach the children science or social studies and amazing things. And you've got your sticky notes and you read along and you think, oh my goodness, this is a great description of this person in this story. So you take your sticky note and you say, model making pictures. And then
what you mean by that is
visualizing the description of the person. So you model how to put your eyes up, because that's where our visual screen is, and you talk the kids through it. You say, oh, I remember it said that she had stockings that were as wrinkled as a witch's chin. So I'm going to imagine a witch. Oh, that's a lot of wrinkles. Oh, her stockings are like way down near her ankles. And you picture it all. And then a page or two later, you notice another great description, another character, or more description of this character or whatever, or a scene, and you say, we do visualizing. And that means you're going to have the kids do it, and they're going to talk with each other. Now, that is as far as you probably need to go in a read aloud. You can have a ton of we-dos where they're talking to their partner, and they're sharing their description, and you're saying, oh, so-and-so said that. Did you guys picture that? And, stuff like that, and you're guiding it. Another thing that we have to do is asking questions. So as you go through with your sticky notes, you might have, if you're a color coder, especially, you might have one color that was questions, and one color that was visualizing, and one color that was point of view, and then whatever other skills, because color coding saves a lot of us. You color code to your heart's content. But anyway, so you have pink for questions, and maybe literal questions are one color and inferential questions are another, or whatever, however you want. And you're reading along and you're sticking all those in. And in every chapter, if I'm doing a chapter book, I can model and have them do probably 4 things in a 20-minute read aloud. We don't finish the book fast, but we are going deep. And then when we go to our basal or whatever we're using, and I say to them, remember when we were reading Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and we made that picture of Irene Herdman, and you guys did such a good job? Well, I want you to do it for Pollyanna in this story in our basal, and they will remember and know. Honestly, my kids love it. They love to answer the questions. They love to think about it. They love to do it. Now, do I have time for a story? Oh, okay. Got to tell you my kindergarten teacher story. Okay. So we were using kindergarten and first grade, and we were testing out this strategy that we were using, question to answer responses, QAR. You can read all about it from somebody else. It's wonderful. And we were using read alouds. But they didn't have a lot of time for read alouds because we had interventionists coming and pulling kids, and ELL teachers coming and pulling kids, and special ed teachers, and everybody and their brother pulling kids, and sometimes you had 3 kids left. So one day we were going to have none of those. I don't know what happened, but they all went somewhere, or whatever. And I went to lunch, and I'm in the lounge, and I was the one who was helping the teachers do all this. And a lot of the kindergarten and first grade teachers said, well, this is great, but it takes 45 minutes to do the story and the strategy and test it, because the kids had to try it because we were field testing it and all that. And I kept saying, well, yeah, but sometimes, maybe just do it for fun. Well, there's no time for fun. So this kindergarten teacher comes in, and she was wonderful, but, she was trying to follow all the rules of the school and do everything. And she said, I just had the best time with my kids. And I said, oh, what happened? She said, well, we didn't have any interventionists or any people pulling anything. So I had 45 minutes with the kids. I just pulled this book out, and I started reading it and using the strategy and asking them questions. And I didn't make them go do the paper, draw the picture or anything. I didn't do any of that. I just talked to them, and we pair shared, and we shared our answers, and they got excited. And I did some modeling, like I always do. And then I had them do the we-dos. Brenda, 45 minutes. Not one kid had to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Nobody was rolling around on the floor. Nobody, was having a meltdown or talking to their friend about recess or asking when lunch was. It was the best 45 minutes. Read aloud, if you use it wisely, will not only be that peaceful time of the day, which we all need, us included. It won't just be I'm sharing a favorite book from my childhood, which is so powerful for the children. It won't be just, I'm reading fluently and they're hearing it. It will be, I am teaching them vital comprehension skills in the most positive, pleasant way. They will love to ask and answer questions, and they will begin. Your read alouds will get more and more interrupted because they will learn how to do this, and hands will go up. I just thought of this question, Mrs. McCrate. Oh, great question. Okay, how are we going to find the answers, boys and girls? Okay, so you need me to read some more so we can find the answer. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, and you know, sometimes it's the kids who you think their decoding skills are lower than I want them to be. They struggle with reading on level, and you're reading a book probably a grade above level, and they're the ones coming up with these amazing inference questions that are deep and meaningful, like meaning of life meaningful.
Yeah.
And you're going to love your time. So read aloud, but use it to the most effective way you can.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I'm out
Coffee
of coffee.
time?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Thank you for watching 2 Teachers Chat. Until next time, and remember, teachers touch lives forever.